I used to think of myself first and foremost as a virgin. Like back in the day, that was just who Eric Rushton was to me. But like at university though, I was obsessed with the fact that I was a virgin. I used to think it was the most important fact about me. It was how I identified. To myself, I mean, like, I didn't introduce myself like that. I wasn't like, hi, nice to meet you, I'm Eric, I'm a virgin. And they'd be like, Eric, I'm your personal tutor, I don't need to know that. I have lost my virginity now, to be clear. I lost it when I was 20, I'm 24 now. I've been steady shagging for 4 years, mate. I know what I'm doing. For me, having sex is like riding a bike. I only feel comfortable doing it on the pavement. 2016 was when I lost my virginity. That was a mad year, wasn't it? That was like when Brexit and Trump and shit was happening. I didn't care, I was well happy. I just jizzed my way through the fracturing of Western democracy. Maybe it was the EU regulations that were holding me back. Sometimes with different genders we have different associations for virginity. Like for a woman, being a virgin's associated with purity, whereas for a man, being a virgin's associated with being a fucking dweeb. And it's an identity based on something you haven't done, which is quite strange. You don't really have that with other things. Like, I lost my virginity at 20, like I said, I felt that was really late. But I didn't cook my first spaghetti bolognese until I was 23, and no one gave a shit about that. I guess I was more willing to wait when it came to bologneses. Wait until I was ready, until I was mature enough and I'd found the right mince. But then I had sex, and dare I say it, is it even that good? I think bolognese might be better, genuinely, especially when you're like bringing herbs and stuff into the equation. Can't do that with sex. You can't be like, excuse me love, can I just pop a bit of rosemary down your brassiere? I just want to point out at this point that I was going to insert a joke there about my Parmesan flaked dick, but I thought it was too disgusting. But I just also don't want you to think I missed the joke. But I guess my point is, like, when you're growing up and you're a virgin and that, you have this idea of having sex being like the most magical thing ever, and it isn't. So it's like you kind of lose that innocence when you have the realisation that sex isn't everything. It's pretty heavy. It's like when you find out Santa isn't real. It was worse for me as well, because I had both those realisations at the same time. I was on top of her like, this is a lot to process right now. But overall, I think I've realised that sex isn't that important. And sometimes I wish I could go back to being that stereotypical awkward virgin teenager who wondered what it'd be like to touch a boob for the first time. Because it's okay to think one thing in life can bring you happiness, as long as you never get it. But if life isn't about smashing your genitals into someone else's, then what is it about? Once you break the myth of sex equaling happiness, then what? Probably have to get into like Duolingo or something.